But we, as a human being, we are in different natures. We learn by experiences, we learn by practices, we learn by books, we learn by Zoom meetings like this. We can't expect Turtle will come join in the Zoom meeting, but we can join. Thanks to Corona. Before Corona, nobody knows about this. Where this scenario comes, how to improve your knowledge. That education can be get by books or teaching lessons, but intelligence you will get from the experiences of others. I want to share my experiences here. There's some more benefits of islands. It is there. I am giving this. When you see this 20 rupees note, you can find one small island park will be available. That is in Andaman Nicobar Islands, the North Bay Islands. In Andaman Nicobar Island, there are other wonders are there like mud volcano. Mud volcano is available here. Volcano also is available here. Volcano Island, one barren island is available here. The natural bridge formation of rocks also available here. And sea walk facility is available in the Andaman Nicobar Islands. The biggest luxury ship is available in Andaman, as well as smallest cargo vessel that is also available in the Andaman Nicobar Islands, which is I have taken from this Limca Book of Indian Records. These are the records are available. And these are the basic importance of Andaman Nicobar Islands. Why we need to develop harbor facilities in Andaman Nicobar Islands. Then when you see the world map, the tiny islands will not be visible at all. When you zoom it, then only small dots will be available. Though it looks like a small dots, the number of islands are more than 800 islands in the case of Andaman Nicobar Islands. Though it is the part of India, our borders are something different. When you see any states and union territory, the borders will be states of our own country. But here, only one part is our border is from India. Then other borders are Thailand. Then other side is Burma. This one side is Malaysia. Malaysia, Indonesia will be border of Andaman Nicobar Islands. And why it is so much to be developed? You can see one small island called Cook Island, which is in the northern part of islands. Just 55 kilometers away from the northern part of India, which is under the custody of China. But main part of India is 1,200 kilometers away from this. That's why security point of view, this is more important to develop the islands. From school childhood, every time he says Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Akhand Bharat. ऐसा सिखाया गया है, Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Kashmir to Kanyakumari. But our borders are not rest with Kanyakumari alone. Our borders are still below the Kanyakumari, which is Indira Point in Great Nicobar, which is the border of our country. If someone asks what is the boundary of your nation, now we can proudly say Kashmir to Indira Point, not from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. And we will be losing this. Then add from this Andaman Nicobar Island. Then only this total number of islands will be included. And this organization where I worked for more than 36 years from various cadre, I joined that organization just as an apprentice to learn the things there for just 1 year. Then I got observed the capacity of junior engineer there. Then I became assistant engineer through UPSC, where Dr. Agarwal also is joined together there. We work together. We moved together in various fields there. Then subsequently, he moved to CWPRS. Then I remained there as executive engineer, deputy chief engineer, then retired as a chief engineer. Regarding this Lakshadweep Island, there are 35 islands. Out of 35 islands, only 10 islands are the peoples are living there. Similarly, here in Andaman Nicobar Islands, out of 836 islands, only 37 islands the people are remaining there. Then our job is to make facilities, harbour facilities in these 36 islands. Unlike other ports in Maharashtra, like Mumbai, JNPT, almost all major ports are backed up with the industry. Some industry will be there behind the development of every port. Whereas the port in Andaman Nicobar Islands is the basic lifeline of the people. If ports are not there, then nothing will get from island. And everything will be dependable. Our power, the diesel has to come from there. Our food articles, everything has to come from. Then we have to move through ports only. And that is the major difference between the major ports in the Indian continent as well as ports in Andaman Nicobar Island. But when we see the population growth, it is in thousands in up to 1965, where other developed countries are planned to launch their rockets to the moon, but we are unable to settle in our own places in Andaman. We struggle to place one island that is called Little Andaman, where this port requirement was finalized by the government. Then it was moved to other islands. Now it's a full-fledged organization under Ministry of Ports and Shipping Waterways. This one organization is functioning there. The population growth also increased only after development of port sector in Andaman Nicobar Island. Though the population is less than 5 lakhs here, but tourist population is more than 5 lakhs in a year, just like Singapore. In the case of Lakshadweep Islands, still the population is very less than 1 lakh population is there. But it is scattered in various islands, like 10 to 11 islands. Almost all ports are governed by the government bodies. Government is running the port. The biggest question comes in front of us is whether we will get the IRR value more than 12. That means project is financially viable when the IRR value will be internal rate of return will be more than 12%. Almost no projects in Andaman as well as Lakshadweep will get the return, the internal rate of return, the more than 12. That means it is the basic requirement of the people. It is not to get the revenue. In near future, the sum of the islands, the major industrialization revolution comes. Then only there are possibilities are there to earn the benefit out of this. But till such time, basic requirement to be taken care by the government. These are the old pictures. We can see how it was there, the Hope Town. That was the town from where the concept of closed cellular jail was evolved, where still people remembering the presence of Veer Savarkar, like people there. Now it has become the oil terminal there. How the people moved in Chatham Island, now it has become a dirty cargo jetties there, where all cement and other sand, all construction materials are being unloaded. You can see the scenario, the aerial view when 1980s it was there. Now it is fully packed up with the harbor facilities. Still, we need more to come out, more harbors to be developed. There are 24 ports are there in Andaman Nicobar Islands. When we see the map, it is available only in the dots. The red color, what I mentioned, is the bigger size of vessels, where vessels from Chennai, Calcutta, Visakhapatnam like places, it will move there. Other ports are the little bit smaller. But how to reach the Andaman Nicobar Islands? And we can reach by ships. Ship services are available from Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Kolkata. But you may have to travel more than 3 days. So people are not in the waiting, not in the mood to wait for 3 days. Luxury ships are like these ships are there. I have given the Nankori ships, very oldest ships where I traveled. Now other ships are too. The people nowadays prefer to travel by air. Air service, there are 14 air service are available. And what was the scenario before the port department was established there? Then everywhere ship has to be in the anchorage, the mid-sea, then all materials, passengers to be get down and materials to be unloaded, or the floating pontoon or small boats. It is to be towed to the shore, then only it reaches here. But now the scenario is changed. There are many other shipping services are there. When ship is moved from mainland to island, then intra-island facilities also. Then we need to make a harbor facilities to cater the intra-island ship. The Port Blair is the capital city, where the mainland ships will come there. Then from mainland ship to other islands. You can see here, the Port Blair is the main island here, where mainland bound vessels will come, and passengers and material will be get down and unloaded here. Then from here to northern group or southern group, then we may have to take other vessels here. Some of the tourist vessels are there, the foreshore vessels, which apply nearest the tourism related islands. And ferry boat service is also available, just like a town bus service here. We have town bus service as well as ferry boat service also. Now we have the vehicle ferry ramps, which is now becoming popular in other parts of the country, like Mumbai also. The people are trying to travel by car and have a ferry, then transfer to another end. This type of vehicle ferries exist here from 1985 onwards, successfully running. The vehicle ferry ramp is the must as a part of harbor development here to carry vehicles from one island to another islands. I think the day one, then we got the knowledge of waves. What is the minimum waves required to create a harbor facilities here? Dr. Agarwal has explained much on this. But unfortunately, we won't get in every places what we require to create a harbor. Till such time, what to do here? The vessel will be the mid-sea, then cargoes will be unloaded here like this. Sometimes passengers will be down here. The floating pontoon, all passengers will be get down here. Then it will be towed by a small boat to the small jetty constructed near the shore. Or sometimes we may have to reach to the shore directly by the boat. And these are the scenarios when wave conditions are horrible and more than 50 centimeters. Then how to make it shelter? That was the biggest task for the harbor engineers here. How to make the sheltered harbor here, the artificial harbor. When natural bay was not available, then we may have to make a artificial harbor in the form of breakwater. These are the structure called breakwaters. It dissipates the wave energy. It won't arrest the waves. The waves energy will be dissipated. It will take entire load. Some of the model waveflow studies were experienced in Central Water Power and Research Station, Pune. When I was visited there, the year of 86, there such structures were built in a dry area where there was no water. One gentleman from Topi, old age Topi, that was so popular in Pune those days. And nowadays I am not seeing much there. This one gentleman will climb the plume, then he will go inside and make a structure. Then he advising me that you should also make a structure like this. But that was the theoretical part. When it comes to reality, but I can't remove the entire seawater and make the structure, then allows to pass on. But our biggest headache was that sea waves will be always available. Tides will be always available. Like morning also, the storm. Almost most of the cyclones will be generated in the Andaman Sea only. And we have to struggle a lot. We have to fight with the nature to create such a structure. So we lost many lives while constructing such a breakwater. But the feel of happiness will come when someone landed over the jetty. Then climb as it is, just to move on and the jetty. Then will be truly realized when a person who jumps in the mid-sea, the floating pontoon, and take a long journey. Sometimes it may heavy rain, sometimes it's a dry sun. In both the ways, this will be suffering. And after struggle of many years, then we could really feel proud of making such a structure like breakwater, the form of artificial harbors. Not only one such breakwaters we made in Rangat, Karnikobar, and Little Andaman, Kembal. There are 4 breakwaters we made. Almost all the places my services were there. Then, what is the difference between the land structure and structure in the sea? The biggest task will be the foundation, the deep foundation. Deep foundation, usually it will be in the form of piling. From the beginning, the technology available was the timber related technology, where timbers were abundantly available. It was in Andaman Nicobar Islands. Timber frames were made, pile driving frames were made, precast piles were created, then it has been moved to the place of driving. Hardly any cranes were seen in those days. The cranes were the outcome of tsunami only. Before tsunami, there was hardly the name of cranes we heard in these islands. But how to handle such a heavy weight materials like piles? So simple. Some of the Hindi films you must have seen, when custom people comes, they will dump entire things with some tying arrangements to the sea. After some times, it may come out. Same technology was our technology. We make a concrete piles in the shore. We roll on into the sea. We will tie during the low tide. I think low tide, high tide were nicely explained. During the low tide, no water will be there. That entire piles will be tied with the two drums, both sides, ordinary drums. Maybe petrol drums or diesel drums or kerosene oil drums, any drums or plastic drums. Leave as it is. We wait for the next tide to come out. When the high tide comes, the water level will rises. Along with this water level, this drums also will be floating. When drums were floated, is in between the drums there are piles. The piles also getting. Then these are the piles will be taken to the particular place of driving, and using winch it started driving. That was the scenario since 1965 onwards. Then it was working on fine. Where these experiences, I am going to share this, how the technology transfer is must in the field of construction era. We don't have any other knowledge other than this precast pile. When the situation compels us to change the scenario, in one of the island, is called Chaura Island. We were there to make a jetty there. When we started driving, more than 2 meters is not going at all. Someone definitely asked why subsoil investigations and all not been carried out. Such a small island, population also is less than 200. No water facility is available there. Just like a ration shop, the rationing will be available. Only 20 liters per day per head, the water will be supplied there. With this background, we decided, okay, we'll go ahead with the construction, let us see. And after driving only 1.5 meter is not going at all. It was a rock, coral rocks were inside. The tremendous deposition of sand also was there. In one season, the entire sand will be deposited. In another season, no sand will be available, like here, what we have shown here. But when we were there while driving, there was sand deposition. The 3 meter sand was there, but only 1.5 meter the penetration was there. Then another season, entire sand were moved by the sea waves. Only 1.5 meter depth. How this jetty will withstand? Then we are under tremendous pressure to change the scenario, how to make the changes. But driving is not possible with this method. In another scenario, in one of the island, like Komodo Island, where we made a 22 meter length of pile, we thought it will be more than sufficient. We can drive as it is. When we took the place of driving, we left for a self weight to move. Normally, self weight will be 1 meter. With the self weight of entire pile, 1 meter will be penetrated. Then we'll start driving. But unfortunately, entire length of 22 meter pile gone inside. Such a loose soil was there. Then we don't have a time to hold the pile. Then only piling system was revived. Now board, the cast in situ piles were produced here. That is just like a boring. We can bore, then pour the concrete. That was the advantage. With any depth, we can see the soil conditions also then and there. then we can decide up to what depth we can go inside. Apart from this jetties and wharf construction, then we are taken the responsibility of creating ship repairing facilities, the dry dock as well as slipways. There are more than 100 government vessels are plying in Andaman Nicobar Islands, more than 50 in Lakshadweep Islands. Then all needs to be maintained. Annual maintenance is mandatory. These are the government repair facilities what we created. That was the assets which is being used for maintenance of their vessels. What we have shown in the top is a dry dock, just like a basin with some wall, barrier walls, the caisson walls, steel caisson walls. We will take entire vessel inside the portion, where the structure was ready to receive the boat there. That entire water will be pumped out. Then these facilities will be available like this to repair the entire, the bottom and side and hull, everything repair. In contrary, there are slipways. We will keep the vessels in the slips. The slips will be moved to the required places. Then it will be towed to the shore so that required maintenance can be done. I will show this how these dry docks vessels are entering here. So this is the portion of the dry dock, the front side of the dry dock. When the vessels are entering here, then it will be closed after entering. This still caissons were available here. Then this entire water will be pumped out for making a repairing facility. There are other type of, only few of its kinds available in an entire country. The oldest dry dock facility, that is called floating dry dock, just like a ship only. There are two compartments, this one compartment and another compartment being connected with the plates. The pumping mechanism in both the compartments. An entire water will be pumped in so that the vessel will go down, so that whatever small boats needs to be repaired, that will be entered here. Then keeping in position, then water will be again pumped out so that this entire structure will start floating. This is launching. Then de-launching, again the same process in the reverse way. After completion of all repair works, again water will be pumped in so that this dry dock portion, floating dry dock, will be go down. Automatically, the vessel which is in the repairing portion, it will be taken away. Now, one more arrangements were made here. This entire floating dry dock is attached with one small pillar. That floating dry dock concept is become that jetty oriented, that port oriented repairing facility now. It has been made first of its kind in Andaman Nicobar Island. Only limited countries, I think only 5 countries in the entire globe has got such a facilities. These are the facilities are now available in Andaman Nicobar also. We need to maintain, just like airport, the seaport terminals also, it is coming up in tourism related islands, where we need not create a port assets where depths are tremendous, depth is available. These are the Port Meadow was identified now, where anchorage port in the mid-sea handling is now possible. There's no need to create any structure there. Then unique facility was created in Andaman Nicobar Islands, in some of the islands in Lakshadweep too. The floating jetties. In earlier speakers, they highlighted about the coastal zone regulations. To get the coastal zone regulations, create a concrete structure, getting the sanction, it's all time-taking process, especially in ecologically sensitive areas like Andaman and Lakshadweep Islands. An alternate, what we found is the floating jetty. The only floating blocks were interlinked, anchored with the 50 kgs of concrete blocks. That's all. It will be there like this. With this, all small crafts are getting benefited, as well as even our seaplane services also benefited with this facility. We need not create any structure here. The tourism operated area like North Bay Islands, the bigger vessels carrying around 50 to 100 passengers in every trip. Then these are the facilities were utilized here. To receive seaplane services, again the same old concept was created here. Almost neighboring countries are using their own methodology. It appears to be costlier. Then we thought the same methodology, what we made as a small platform. The timbers are available here. With the available timber, we made a platform, floating platform. We placed in anchorage position where the seaplane will land here. And with this platform to the shore or jetty, and we will be easily transferring people with small boats. This also we have tried here. Till tsunami, there was the scenario was different. And after tsunami, the challenges has been faced in the another scenarios. The name, the word tsunami itself, the harbor waves. It will definitely attack the harbors. The gateways of the waves were harbors. During the tsunami in 2004, almost most of the islands harbors were destroyed. The Indira Point lighthouse, which was seen, the land, it was now in water. How it has happened? It was tilted like this. The position it was like this, it has made like this. Even Google Maps, you can see the changes, the tremendous changes. The before tsunami, the during the tsunami, after the tsunami. In one island alone, the Kachal Island, where most of the people were affected, then our entire harbor structure was destroyed here, and we could make a new structure there in new places. As I said here, the harbor waves, one of the islands, artificial harbor, it was been attacked by the tsunami. Before tsunami, the scenario was like this: 1.2 kilometer length of breakwater. The good wharf was available here, and ships can come anywhere here, can take a berth here, and people can get down here, can go directly to the shore. That was the fantastic arrangements were available. before tsunami. But what tsunami made like this, it has not touched the harbor structure. The war portion was intact. And most of this portion has been totally cut off here. We can get down here, but we can't reach to the shore. Here, one more jetty was there, port structure was there. That port structure also totally damaged there. And what we made a small structure here. This place, so that from here we can move on. Using small boats, we moved here. It was the immediate restoration we made here. That's why we managed. We are used to temporary gabions, because cranes and everything were destroyed there. No cranes were functional. We don't have machineries to handle bigger size stones. But luckily, the tsunami also helped a lot here. With the nature's overburdens were removed, the good half-ton tetrapod mold were received. It has been used during those days. It was not a use of now at all, because it is often tetrapod. It has never been used. Nobody has thought of such molds were available there. There's so many other materials were they put over there, but nature has washed away these places. Then they gave the plates. And how to use it? Then we used like this to solve this using gabions. At least often tetrapods, the 4 numbers of tetrapods in one gabion, so that handling also will be easy, placing also will be easy. And 2-ton we made as a 2-ton as a temporary measures. I think Dr. Agarwal, like a scientist, they never appreciate that these are the scenarios. No, because it has never been tested yet. But we, as a practical engineer, we don't have any other options other than this. We want a stone. Till
Good to see.
our
Good to see tetrapods in the gabions.
yeah. Two often tetrapods in gabions. Four numbers of tetrapod. In another scenario, how this the jetty was there here like this on jungly area. This entire jetty structure was like this, but this entire jetty has been collapsed. We can't reach here. We need to have a very bigger jetties here, like the Trishul jetties. Then we made a reclamation area. At least we got land here. So these are the facilities. Though we feel that tsunami has created nuisance, but the port development and the overall Andaman Nicobar setup has been developed a lot after tsunami. And in the future development, and when I joined this organization, the first file I dealt was development of free port in Great Nicobar Island. After my retirement, at least now, it is in the progressing stage. Now it is EIA level and all crashed. Something is coming up. So what is this container transshipment port in Great Nicobar Island? When we see the location of this Great Nicobar Island, this all shipping corridor will be crossing Great Nicobar Island. But again, all cargoes are handled by Singapore-like places or Colombo-like places. But it is crossing via Great Nicobar Island. The size of the Great Nicobar Island itself, it is bigger than the country's size of Singapore. Why can't it be developed? The government has taken a strong decision there. We must develop. Now it is in the positive side. Now development of transshipment port is coming in this way, like this year. The Galatia River basin, all terminals are coming. The pipeline now. At least after 30 years, it has come here. And though we'll be happy to see the seashores or beaches. Some of the beaches are blue flag certified beaches are there. But the nature will disturb the beaches too. Then what is our challenges? To protect the beaches. Just protect the shore. The shore protection works also. It is one of the tasks by the harbor engineers here. And not only here in Port Blair, these shore protection works were done by our organization. In another island like Karnikobar, then when we made a small breakwater here, and erosion were started here. From the beginning, I was involved in the project. So I was keen to watch all the places. What was happening here? When this breakwater was constructed, that erosion was there here. Then we got the recommendation from CWPRS that the shore protection works to be continued here. Then what was the scenario in the 2003 beach? When we started construction here, suddenly there was a erosion the nearby area. And to prevent the erosion, we started creating a structure here, seawall. We made a seawall here. But when the breakwater is progressing further, and instead of erosion, deposits were started here. So whenever we are going against the nature also guiding us. No, your way is, this is the way to go. Now, luckily, the scientific institution like CWPRS, because tremendous experts, they can find out where will be the erosion, where will be the possible deposition also. And up to here, the initial portion, when the breakwater was progressing, then here in 1999, the deposits were started, then erosion is moved in other places. Another view here like this. When the deposits are here, this area also deposits started. In 2009, this is total deposition, where sea erosion was there previously. It has been now deposits. Only erosion started here. Now our task is to protect only this area where the potential erosion is there. In some of the places, erosion was so severe, even stiff clay also got eroded. Instead of visiting officials from various places, we could manage to send the pictures and videos like this, so that they can get the ground reality, how it was eroded. Where another side is strong deposition, that this side is 3 meter sea erosion is. In some of the places, you can see the waves also hitting regularly here. Then we'll move on to Lakshadweep Islands. As I told, there are 10 inhabitant islands are there out of 35 islands. Their scenario is something different. It will be like this: western side and eastern side. Western side will be a big lagoon will be there. Shallow water remains, then corals will be there. Ecologically sensitive. We can't do anything there. It runs in kilometer. Beautiful corals. The really God gifted people only can go underwater and see the beauty of the corals. The living creatures and the fishes in small size, bigger size, with colorful, you can see. In the name of creation of harbor structure, we should not remove that. But people have to reach there. Then we have to compromise between these two. In the contrary, in the other side, the sudden depth. Sudden depth, the water level will be, water splashing will be so heavy. Sometimes it will overflow the more than 10 meters. Only option with us to make a breakwater there. The depth of the more than 25 meters, 50 meters and all, the cost of the breakwater will be huge. Whereas population will be very less. By compromising both the issues, we maintain these jetties. We create a small jetties in almost all the islands. Then we make a entrance channels here, a regular dredging will, so that we can maintain the proper depth. Again, challenges in the dredging is our quantity of the dredging. Quantum of dredging will be bigger in terms of only 2,000 cubic meter to 5,000 cubic. Then no bigger agencies will come. Then we manage to handle with the small grab dredges. That is going on there. Then how people were handled here? As I told earlier, when the artificial harbors are not there, the form of breakwater was not there. Then ship has to be like here in anchorage. Then small boats has to go like this, and people has to get down here. Similarly, cargoes also been handled here. Only some other alternatives we made is we make coral breakwaters. It is in the pipeline now. We will make a breakwater in the form of coral breakwater, so that a small piece of concrete pieces with holes. Then with this, the coral seeds were planted. After some times, the corals will be grows in this structure. Then natural protection will be get here. Then few islands, only 2 islands we tried to have the breakwater there in Androth Island is now functional here. The eastern side, the jetties also were constructed in 4 places where it has not been planned for 365 days operations. It will be operational only limited to 220 days. Then otherwise, that small islands, small jetties will serve the purpose. Then other than jetties, other entrance tower, just like a traffic signal, then we need to create a traffic signal light. It will guide the way to enter. Here the entrance channel exists here. Then some of the lighted buoys, even during the night, it will navigate. This is the place. Some of the mooring buoys we kept here. The depth were so high, the more than 100 meters sometimes. Then we need not give troubles to the ship to lose their anchors or get the grips during 100 meters there. Then that responsibility been taken by the port department here. The ship mooring buoys were installed here. The ropes will be tied here using this. And another challenges what we had is nowhere we have seen the conflict between the man and the animal. The unique challenge is the crocodile. But normally scientists says crocodiles won't live in salt water. But here, in every places of Andaman Nicobar Islands, except Lakshadweep Islands, only in Andaman Nicobar Islands, we will found almost all places crocodiles. All beaches, they will find a boat and crocodiles, beware of crocodiles. Then we made a challenge here on the trial basis, but it was withstand before some cyclones. The after cyclones, that also not been success. That means we need to develop a further technology to save the passengers from the crocodiles. Then we also did some of the challenging works here, where more tourists are visiting here. When more tourist people are coming, then water bottles are coming more. Then I thought of using these water bottles. Then why can't we make a small house there? It's a 3x3 house using small concrete slabs, the lintel slabs, and beam alone is the RCC. Instead of bricks or hollow blocks, I used this 6,600 PET bottles in one Neil Island. Now it is being called the bottle house here. And 6,600 bottles were going to become a waste. It has been utilized now. Some of the practical problems which has been adopted while visiting some other ports. When I saw in some other port, here Ennur port, the end of the breakwater, we have got a small 45 by 45, a small pillar, one small lights were fixed. Whereas in Andaman, our tip of the breakwater has got the mega structure. With this mega structure, we will be trouble to maintain the breakwater. Our crane won't reach till the end of the breakwater. Where the bigger size of armor stones, like 16-ton tetrapods, were there. But still, our record says no, our standard is like this. We need to make a bigger structure. Then we challenge. What for this mega structure? Those days, these beacon lights were handled with a bigger gas cylinders. The gas cylinders being handled by a person's 3 shift. That's why a caretaker should be live in the edge of the breakwater, the tip of the breakwater. We need to have a bigger size to fix the cylinders. But the situation presently prevailing is totally different. We have got a small panel, the solar panel. With this solar panel, this light. That's all. Then we made these challenges. Then we interact with the people also here. Though they call the tribals here, primitive tribes, the Engg tribes. So-called literate people, more than 6,000 people were lost their life during tsunami. But Engg people, they have people in count less than 100, 98 people. The 98 people were saved. They have the knowledge of tsunami. They have inherent tsunami warning systems. What warning system? When the sea is going down abnormally sea dries, then you need not venture into the sea. You have to run away from the sea. That was the traditional song, which is available with the local tribes, the Engg tribes. He was explaining. And not only this, in Lakshadweep, the tremendous knowledge with the hands. They keep the hands like this. They says, no, don't venture this side. You are going to face a cyclone like waves from this side. or turbulence will be there on other side. Luckily, these are the documents were documented. Only Malume like that. It is available in Malayalam. In some other cases, what I referred earlier in Chow Island, when we saw here, sudden deposition started where old jetties were available here. With my expertise in engineering, having worked in so many years, having your friends like Agarwal and frequent visit to CWPRS and all, then I recommended just to demolish this wall, make a hole here, then entire problem will be solved. But the same idea has been given by one tribal captain whose name was Nathan. He doesn't have technical knowledge. He has not been to schools and all. He is illiterate. Practically, he was illiterate. But he gave the same solution. See people. Then we must admire such peoples. We have to get the knowledge from these peoples. The Nicobar OD, one of the boats with outrigger facilities, sir. They are making themselves. No certifications, nothing is required. But it won't sunk. Even we tried to fill full of water here, but still it floats. These are the knowledgeable things are available here. But only problem is water was not, drinking water was not available. Then when I was in Karnikobar, there was a small well was there. When Japanese were settled here, they moved from this place to another place called headquarters only because the drinking water scarcity was. What we did is just a simple rainwater collection. We have connected with this all roof, make a small arrangements of filtering, the local filtering. With this, now at least we can manage in the non-rainy seasons. Here, the good rail will be there 8 months in Andaman. Only 4 months need to be managed. With that, we can manage. We can definitely manage because instead of making this as a waste flow as a drainage, we could collect some places like this and we can use it. That is in the smaller scales. And what to do with the larger scale? Larger scale, water is required for port operation also. There are more than 100 government ships alone is there. More than 50 private ships are running. Defense vessels also running. Then all vessels need water. It is to be fed in only limited sources were available. We don't have a chances to expand our water storage because of this. All the areas are forest reserve area. To do the work other than forest purposes, then we need to surrender our revenue land, double the area. Already our revenue lands are limited. Then we proposed a proposal. Why can't we make the bay which is not been used for shipping purposes as well as fishing purposes? What we'll do is we'll close this. So these are the bay. This one bay we have chosen here, where no shipping activities are going on, no fishing activities also is going on. We close this just like a dry dock, what we are planning to do. There we are holding ships there inside. Here we'll close this area and we will pump out the entire water outside. We'll wait for the rain to come here. Then when rain comes, it will fill here. Again, it will be pumped out. The Delhi IIT, the model studies, they gave suggestion that within 4 seasons, this entire area will become fresh water. We have got some environmental issues where this area where more mangroves are there. The mangroves won't survive in fresh water. It needs salt water. Salt water only this will survive. Then we have some alternate suggestion we made. We make earthen bund here. Make a small bridge so that salt water can come here to enhance. Still, this project is in the pipeline. Then it has been initiated by me. The concept, we can't believe this, how it will happen. A simple logic. Take a cup of milk, consume 50%, add water on it. Consume again 50%, add water on it. Consume again 50%, add water on it. Then finally, what will get is no milk will be there, only water. This is the concept. These are the facilities are already available in Hong Kong. Then we made a visit there. How it was performing, it was performing excellent. When such facilities were done here, then definitely the 5 times of this present capacity of the water can be done. And not only here, in some other places also it has been tested here. This methodology of work, how government system works here. Almost the government system in contract rates, this item rate only it works. And there was a key word now, EPC contract. When our shipping minister was Mr. Nitin Gadkari, he asked a simple question. अरे भाई, आप अपना पैसा से अगर घर खरीदना चाहते हैं, कैसे करते हैं? And our reply, we rely on some builder. What we ask, this much area facing this direction, the 3 bedroom or 2 bedrooms, which floor, the 4th floor or 5th floor or ground floor. This is the requirement. Then we are paying, that's all. When you want to buy, you specify your requirement, then you give the money, you believe the builder. You never see what is the quality of the cement he used, what brand used, what type of steel used, what is the mix, what is the mix design strength. You never asked anything at all. Whereas when the government gives the money to the government official, you want to see everything like this, but it delays the purpose. The real asset creation will be delayed for this procedure. So why can't you specify this is your requirement? Only one trial, first EPC contract we made here, the one jetty in Varatang. We specified 75 meter by 15 meter. That's all. Our estimated cost was 17 crore. Then agency was ready to build by 13 crore. That's all. The straight away government savings was 4 crore. Why I am saying is, we must, as a practicing engineer, we must be open-minded, not to follow whatever is old things. Whatever we are doing, we must love the job and take the challenges, and you will be happy. When I see some Ramayanas characters, definitely some of the things are coming to my mind. How leaders been created. That as a practicing engineer, you must be a leader, because so many people are there around you. You have to come out, give the best direction. That who will be the leader in Ramayana? When Ram or Lakshmana came here, this side, in Kiskindhar Raja, he was seeing that the king sees these people, he ran away. He was the leader. The king was the leader those days. But Hanuman is not the leader. In his capacity, he was the minister, the subordinate officer to the king. But he judged them properly. No, these people are not our enemies. They are our friends. The leaders to take the first decisions. Why Ramayana I am referring is, these are the sustainable development. These are the words were coined now only. But when mega structures were created, the Ram Setu, will take it granted as constructed by human beings, like monkey fold, the leaving other things, other side. Even that period, one small monkey is asking that we are performing quarrying operation now, the present way of quarrying operation, but there we are breaking entire mountains. There are many human beings are there, Rishi Munis were there, even animal kinds were there, birds were there. Then they will be angry on us. Then what will be the remedy? Then only this sustainable development. We need not cut the entire mountains. You see what will be the outcome. Then you brief the people. You brief the Rishi Munis. The purpose of this creation of this Setu is there. Then definitely they will also accept it. Similarly, the project managements have been elaborated, but it can be explained in a simple way, like how to plan to celebrate your birthday. When I was in one engineering college, the project management class, leaving Perth CPM and all other side, I just called, we want to celebrate a birthday of the next month, baby. Anybody is there? Whose birthday is being celebrated next month? The one gentleman raised his hand. Okay, then what to do? Immediately says cake, ordering the cake. Yes. How to order? How many clothes to be ordered? How many clothes to be ordered? That depends on how many people to be invited. That means ordering of cake is one event, one activity. Then number of clothes, invitation, make the invitation ready. That is another activity. Then which activity to be done first? Finalize the invitation list first. Okay, then making the presentation, or simultaneously you can make the invitation getting ready. There are simultaneous activities, predecessor activities, successor activities. These are the activities can be explained in the form of small the birthday to the kids. Like same way, analysis of rates not been taught in the engineering college level people, but it is must when you come to a practicing engineer. When you come out from engineering college, then definitely they will ask how much this building cost. How to find out this cost of this much cubic meter of this there. And I have explained in simple way in one other institution how to fix a rate of a tea, cup of tea. There 10 rupees, 12 rupees, or double omelette, they say it is 15 rupees. How they arrive? Then we split up into pieces, material elements. These are the materials to make a tea, to make an omelette. Then labor components, how much labor is required. Then higher charges, how many higher charges of equipment. Then these are the things are required. Then all putting together, add some contractor profit or the GST add, you will find out then this is the rate. I am also requesting that teaching professionals come up the simple way so that practicing engineers what we are doing, then that will be real requirement. Then people also will be easily understand the concept. As a coastal engineers will definitely give problems everywhere. We will face the problems only because you are not going to do anything on your own. Like IT professionals, programming, then you can do. You can do programming, then you will be fully responsible for the program. But as a practicing engineering in coastal region, as an engineer, then your only planning is in your brain. Then rest of the things is someone is doing. Then everyone has to be the problem free. Then only everyone will be smile. Then list of problems, the coastal areas, it is monsoon, earthquakes, no construction materials are available. Everything has to come from mainland. The transportation logistics supports is lagging. The technical knowledge is not upgradable. The extent what other people are doing, like attending classes like this, environmental issues like CRZ, reserve forest, tribal reserve, natural disasters, lot. But still, we are moving ahead. How we are moving ahead? We remember the sayings of Swami Vivekananda. In a day, when you don't come across any problems, you can be sure that you are traveling in a wrong path. Then daily we are facing problems. That means I am sure that I am traveling. I have traveled in a correct path. Thank you. Thank you very much. Once again, I wholeheartedly thank everyone, especially Dr. Agarwal, who is kind enough to give an opportunity to meet the students in online form. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I had one little question from you. Is it okay?
Yeah.
You explained about the coastal reservoir. Technically, it is called coastal reservoir.
Yeah.
So from where did you get the concept? It was your own, because I have studied that in detail, but from here you got this idea, coastal reservoir, storing the fresh water in the lake, and slowly it gets converted into sweet water.
This idea
Yes,
idea was conceptualized only with the problems only, because the existing facility is available only dam, expansion of the dam, rising of the dam. These are the only possible solutions were there. Then there is no other solutions. Then why can't we make, after arrival of this? It was this was the idea of Mr. WSJ Tambudareji when he was
I
the
see.
deputy
Okay,
chief engineer. When later only we searched in the Googles that even during that period, Googles were not there. Then only we come to know that some of the countries like Hong Kong succeeded in this. Then we made a visit.
Yes. Okay. Very nice concept and very innovative lecture you have given, because it was really good to learn that with so many limitations in the islands, you could succeed in almost all the fronts. I could realize, because I have been there in Kondul as well, in Campbell and most of the islands. Facilities were really very meager, and despite those limitations, ALHW has come up in a very nice way in developing the port facilities and in almost all islands. Your lecture was also conceptualized in a very nice way. It was good to listen your lecture. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from audience side?
Namaskaram. Vanakkam. Yeah, quite interesting, sir. Even though I'm from mechanical, but I belong to ocean. T. Krishnamurthy, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Go
Fantastic.
ahead.
Yeah. Very interesting and informative. We didn't feel only, we couldn't see the timing only. Once you finish, only we saw the time. So it was good, interesting. Few clarifications, if you can. But what we heard, like there is a plan in near future to put the road to Myanmar. 1, 2, 3 questions, like clarification. So is it in the pipeline, sir? And as you are talking about the freshwater production, how these Britishers during their time, some boilers and all in the movie songs we used to see still. So don't we have any boilers, like why we are not going for any? What was the use of the boilers in their time? Whether it is used for power production, steam, or making water, sir? One. And during sailing, as you said, the predictions about the weather or whatever, when the dolphins come opposite to us, we think it is not good sign. So we always say we are going to face rough weather. So when the dolphins come along with us, we feel okay, it's a good sign. So these are all the few things very interesting. And in Tamil, I think you may be elaborate also very nice. I can understand, but it's a very good, very interesting and informative regarding the road and boilers. If you can brief us few words, sir, please.
Thank you, Mr. Ramakrishna. And nice to see in the online the technical lecture too. Though you are mechanical, then you're keen to watch the presentation. That's a good questions this side. So far, no plan to make Burma, but in near future, it may be there. Because some of the islands, which is very close to the northern part of island, then it is 55 kilometers. It is under the custody of China. Then China is developing like anything, but we need to have support from different angle. Then that may be near future it may come. So far, no such proposal is there as far my knowledge goes. The secondly, this boilers are the exist in the Rose Island. This earlier Rose Island, now it is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Island. These boilers were used for desalination purpose. That there was no fresh waters were available. Only rainwater was stored in the small tanks, which has been utilized. Even the present dam which has been utilized, that also made by Britishers only. That strengthening and rising the height that has been maintained by us. These are the future plans we are making. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any queries from participants?
You could throw some light on this because naval base is also widening up for our Andaman. Whether our civil department is working on that, sir, or it is left to the Navy, sir, defense?
Though we are still working with the development of naval works there, but being restricted information, then I can't share the information. But still, in the civil department of Ministry of Shipping, like Andaman Lakshadweep Harbour Works, it is having MOU with the Ministry of Defense. Then so far, one full length of jetty has been completed. Then another other portion of the jetty also, the completion stage, that almost it is completed. 95% it is completed. That both the two projects has uniqueness. The first of its kinds, not only in the island, and it's in the India as a whole. But due to security reasons, I can't explain much in this forum. But still, we have been touch with the Ministry of Defense for overall national development.
Great, sir. You are talking about the Ennur. I worked in Ennur port also.
Yeah.
So what that small lighthouse or whatever was small, but the one which we kept, that lighting is in the tower. The tower light, we kept it in the shore actually, on the big height, high altitude. That was the actual symbol for for the Ennur port actually. Though even though it is a small one on the bank, the breakwater, but the one which is in the shore, in the tower, that light is a big one, like your LED or whatever, I don't know. That is a big light, and that was giving the.
But the lights which is over the breakwater is not the purpose like lighthouse lights. Yeah. It is just to give the intimation that there is a breakwater here, that ships should not get grounded here. That is the only purpose. That's why we don't need such a massive structure to give a small line. But
quite
earlier days it was there. Like,
but great challenges because we didn't know like you have done so many all these years, real. It's a real. You must be recording all these in your diary, I believe.
yeah. Most
Yes.
out of 37 years, there more than 30 years I was in the remote islands where nothing will be available. At least in Port Blair, I will get some of the facilities here. Then no such facilities were available in the remote island. Then we may have to wait for the small nut and bolt to come from this. Then we need to see the alternate plan B. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. With your permission, we'll proceed with the formal vote of thanks.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I, Vanishri Patil, Assistant Professor in Department of Civil Engineering at Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Technology, Pimpri, Pune, take this opportunity to deliver vote of thanks for the program. On behalf of Civil Engineering Department, I would like to thank our today's expert for readily accepting our invitation for this interaction. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our management, Honorable Dr. P.D. Patil sir and Honorable Dr. Somnath Patil sir for their continuous support. I express my sincere thanks to our principal, Dr. L.K. Wadhwa sir for his constant support and encouragement. I express my gratitude to Dean Academics, Dr. Urmila Patil Madam for her valuable guidance and motivation. Also, I'm very thankful to HOD Dr. Deepa Joshi ma'am for the support and guidance she has extended to all of us. I'm thankful to all the faculty members and participants for participating in this interactive session. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. I request participants to fill the feedback link in the chat box. And I declare that the session is over. Certificate link has been also been shared in the chat box. Participants are supposed to fill the link and then I will the certificate.